You know what's going on here.
Yeah.
This is the Plug Podcast, another YouTube exclusive.
Yeah.
And with me today is the great, the mighty, the phenomenal Lee Gerstmann. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good, buddy. In fact, one of these days, I'll ask you on my show again. I know that you sometimes busy, and you're like so good that I don't want to waste it.
Oh,
You know what I
stop
mean?
it. I still remember that review you gave me. You know, that I was one of the best reviewers or podcasters you had worked with. And I still take that to heart so much because you've worked with so many people. And I think, dude, I just suck. But I have a great voice.
I I like your vibe. I mean, you're like it's like I know that if you're playing guitar and you only play one note, that one note's gonna be the real note.
Yes.
You know?
Lee, it's so good to see you. I haven't talked to you in so long. I saw
Yeah.
on the YouTube that you made a little return, went back and worked with Mark and Jerry
Uh,
and Charles, did a little freeform thing going on. How was that, man?
is
Because I'm
that
not gonna
shock?
lie, I have not watched the episode yet.
Okay, well, maybe I'll wait until you watch it and then I can tell you. No, um, he asked me if I was okay with it, and I was okay with it because I didn't have anything going on that day, and plus I don't want him to think I can't ask him. You
Right.
know, there were a couple of other episodes that or so that I was supposed to be on, and they didn't happen. But I then decided to do some episodes on my own to let so and so know at least I was still able to do what I said I would do. But
Absolutely. You've been working with Charles Trainer a bit. I've seen
oh
he's
yeah,
appeared in a few episodes.
yeah, he's very enthusiastic about working with me, and I have to say like I'm kind of like the kind of guy who it's sort of like he's Gene to my Ace. I might do the great guitar stuff, but I need the guy to give me the push. You know what I mean?
Well, at least it's not Gene to the Paul. I mean, that would be weird.
Yeah, no. I
No,
saw them back
that's
in the
great.
day.
I was really as a fan of you,
Thank you.
and I love Mark too. I mean, me and Mark have been buddies for a long time, and I hated the split, and it looked like I'll say because I don't give a fuck. It looked like Mark was really talking a lot of shit. I kind of thought that you guys would never work together again. So I got to say it was really heartwarming to see you on there with those guys. Jerry's a good guy. I got to meet all three of them for the first time out in Nashville in March. They're good
Yes.
guys. Charles, I have kind of a special affinity for Charles because Charles is a veteran and he's still working with the military. And you know, I'll never be able to help that because I love those guys because I am those guys. But
Yeah.
no, it was great to see see you do that. Other than your podcast, excuse me, the Lee Gerstmann Show, you can find on Spreaker.
Yeah.
And this recent guest spot, you've kind of been ghost in the podcast community, other than just doing your show periodically and this one. What has been going on with the
Um,
great Lee Gerstmann in New York City? This motherfucker's in New York, and I'm so
I,
jealous.
I'm going to say, in a way, I would say I am kind of feeling better because instead of worrying about what people on the internet think of me, I instead worry about the very, very few, maybe one or two people on the street and what they think of me.
Right.
I'm kidding, but no. I mean the idea is, man.
Dude, I've been to New York City. You kind of
I
fit in on the street.
Would you believe that where I am, the bums are actually courteous as opposed to California. In California, if they ask you for spare change and you don't give it to them, they might give you an attitude like, what's your problem? Are you a Democrat or what the hell are you? Are you
Yeah.
in New York, if I just say I don't have it, maybe once in a while someone might be a little aggressive, but I say I don't have it, they just say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bother you. They're
Is not
they're
is
courteous, sort of.
Doesn't New York City get such a bad fucking rap? Now look, dude, down here in the South, people think, when I say I'm from New York, they automatically think New York City. And understand, I can give you some New York fucking attitude. I can do that. I lived in New York for
Yeah.
32 years, but
Yeah.
I lived 6 hours north of the city next
Yeah.
to a military base. But that attitude kind of transgresses the entire state. It's a different way of being. It's
Yeah.
cold 8 months out of the year. So you're pissed off half the time, you
I
know.
like the cold. I mean, I will say there are some days where it got even too cold for me, which is pretty out there. But I mean, um, I hated the hot heat back when I was a young kid. I felt like just laying down in bed and not doing anything.
Wow.
And so I used to go out
You were
uh,
built for the North, buddy.
with when the rain happened, and I would go out sometimes without any umbrella on purpose.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of now when I do it, it's just because I can't bend down to pick up my umbrella. But anyway,
It
but
happens when you get old.
yeah, but
or,
I
or,
mean
or too drunk. You don't want to fall.
that's happened too. But like
We're
yeah,
getting old, Lee. We can't fall anymore. We have hips and shit we have to think about.
yeah, I'm a hip shit. Oh, anyway, now yeah, it's better than California ever was.
New York City is the greatest city on the planet. I've been to a lot of them around the planet, and I gotta say, New York City is the greatest city on the planet. I tell all my Southern friends, and these people down here. I live in a small mountain community, man, 1,500 people maybe in this town I live in, and their idea of New York City is what they've heard from Fox News, and I'm a Fox News fan. I'll say that. Um, but yeah, they report on the crime and such, and that whole New York attitude that, hey, fuck you. I mean, and I've experienced that even up in Watertown, New York. You can't walk down the street in Watertown, New York, which is a very small city, and wave to somebody on the porch. Hey, how you doing? And because they're like, hey, fuck you. Who are you? What you want, motherfucker? Down here, you walk down the street. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how's your mom and them? you know
You know,
it is a much different vibe down here, and I really, really enjoy country living. Excuse me, I'm not going to lie. I really enjoy country living. I could walk outside my place, and I could pull my 45 or my 40, and I could just start shooting because I'm into fucking sticks. Nobody cares. You know
yeah,
what I mean? When you're in a city, somebody pulls out their weapons and starts shooting. You're hitting the ground because in most of these cities, you're not allowed to have those weapons anyway. It's a much different vibe. But
yeah.
I miss to this day city conveniences. I cannot go to a bar, and by the way, there's not a lot of them. I live in the fucking Bible Belt, dude. There's not bars. But
Mm.
so I
Oh,
go to this place
so
that has a bar.
do they
And if
still
I
have
want
at
to
least
drink till
stores?
11 o'clock, I have to drive home. If I don't have somebody to drive me home, I have to.
Yeah,
There's no taxi service. There's no Uber. There's no Lyft. I miss that about living up north and living in an urban environment. Um, if I'm hungry at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, well, I better be prepared to cook something because there's nothing open, man. This place shuts down at 9 o'clock. We have two convenience stores that are open till midnight, and we have one restaurant that's open till 11. One, and that's the same place that bar is in.
yeah,
Barring that, man, I mean, it's country life, and I'm learning how to deal with these people down here. being from New York and growing up on people like Jerry Seinfeld, who's a clean comedian, he said goddamn. He not all the time, but he would say goddamn. Dude, down here, you would do better to shoot somebody in the face than to use those two words together because it's the Bible Belt. So I've
Oh,
learned how to quell that. But I love it down here. I got to tell you, I have recently gone back to the nursing
yeah.
health health field. I lost my license in New York because I hurt my back, and it took me years to rehab it. And by then, my license expired. So I started doing factory work. And when I came down here, I was doing factory work. Well, now I'm in an assisted living facility, taking care of meds, doing treatments, not doing everything, doing a lot of what I did as a nurse, not nearly as much as I did as a combat medic.
Oh, but
But I'm able to do these things without being licensed. However, I still have to, pass a state test.
yeah.
So I'm back in the field that I love. It's interesting. As much as I hate people, I love taking care of them. So that's what I'm doing lately. Have you been to any concerts lately? Any shows? I mean, you got a lot of club shows in New
I
York.
I there's Facebook is really good because they told me about some concerts, like some free stuff. There was this concert at the Hungarian consulate that was a free show of these two Hungarian artists doing classical music, and one of them is this lady who I thought, oh, she's pretty cool. So I'll give I gave her a copy. I have another one here of my stuff on score music because
That's your music. You have.
sheet music, yeah,
That's your sheet music.
yes.
That's a long way from just handing out pieces of paper at Rockin' Pod just in 2023.
Um, well,
Dude, that's like
yeah.
professionally bound. I mean, that looks good.
If I were to have all of the stuff that I did within the last couple of years, I would have at least 40 or 50 of these. I,
Wow.
because I have an app where if you put it, like do score music, and
Yeah,
then it transcribes it. There's some I did call the Mumble Symphony, where I I did like 32 sections and about 30 seconds each because the free version of the app you can record up to 30 seconds without paying. If I want to do a 5-minute piece, then I have to pay a little more. But anyway, so I went with my voice. I went like, and I did that for, and then I I I put it into the different symphonic instruments, and I
uh-huh.
put them so then because they have a thing where if it's unplayable on the instrument, like this G or this A is way too high, it shows it in red. So all you have to do is go down an octave. So I have these cues, and then so I shaped it, and it sounded like a major complex work.
That's
And
awesome.
I mean, I know how to play keyboard, but I mean, I also know how to go. And I haven't done it yet, but I mean, down I haven't worked on it, but I even did one just a few things with my feet on the keyboard to see how that worked.
That's
And believe
funny.
it or not, it didn't it didn't seem to matter. It still looked professional music.
That's funny. See, people don't understand the brilliance that is Lee Gerstmann. I
You know
saw
what?
you on
If
Facebook
you
Live
had
night,
go on, go on.
and you were trying to play keyboards with a much younger girl
I
uh,
who you
on the guitar. And because she's so much younger and gets so butthurt, I'm not going to mention her name so that it doesn't tag her in anything. Uh, from Buffalo, I know you know who we're
yeah,
talking to.
yeah.
And I was watching that, and I was like, man, I'm having a few beers. I want to play with fucking Lee. So when you were finally done with dealing with that, I started playing with you on something that I had written, and man, we had a great time.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. I mean, I'm not an accomplished
Okay.
musician,
Oh,
but you definitely are. I mean, you definitely have the chops. You're definitely eccentric and you're weird. You go off into these weird Grateful Dead kind of
yeah.
weird places, but you're still an accomplished musician. Did I
Yeah.
suck? That's what I want to know. Did I suck that night? Because I was pretty drunk.
I think you were pretty good. I think that maybe you
But you
listened
were
a
worried
little
about
too
the
much
suspended
to
chords because you don't respect the suspended.
John Denver and the Muppets a little too much, but I mean, at least you don't listen to Tiny Tim. No, no.
I will
Um,
take the John Denver and the Muppets. That's it. Okay, show's over, people. John Denver and the Muppets. I fucking win.
all right, but no. You're good. I mean, the thing is, there was a guy in Oakland when I was playing. I was playing music. There was this one guy. I don't know if he's still alive. He might be 110 if he still is. I'm
Oh,
assuming probably no, but he was a guy who I'm going to take a few more drinks and then I'm going to tell you about this because this is interesting.
oh my God. I would expect nothing less from the great Lee Gerstmann. Oh God. This
Yeah. All
motherfucker
right.
ain't even fucking around.
Yeah. And I've got more where that came from, baby. But anyway, the whole thing is,
That's what she said.
yeah, um, he was someone. He went by the name Pelican Shalto, and I had saw him at this show that ended up not happening, but we all went there thinking, "What's happening? The show's supposed to happen," and the doors never opened,
Oh my
so none of us went there, but a few of us had talked afterwards, and so he was one of the guys who talked, and then so I went to Tower Records, and he must have remembered me because he just all of a sudden went up to talk to me and talk to me about stuff that the same kind of music that I'm into, and I'm like, this guy must be pretty brilliant. So we talked and da 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 da, and then and then when I saw him again on my birthday, I told him today's my birthday, and he was born on my birthday, not the same year, but the
dear.
same day. And then he showed
Oh,
me the license, and I went, wow. But we went and we performed, well, not perform. We sort of infiltrated the coffee shop and said we're going to sit down and play, and you shut up.
dude,
But
a,
anyway,
a coffee shop show is a fucking performance. And that's what people don't understand because I've done coffee shop shows.
it wasn't really a show. It was we
It's
just
a show, Lee. If you're up there and you're playing your shit, it's a show.
okay. It was a show. Well,
Doesn't matter if you get paid or not. Open mic, if you're up there
we
busting your
showed them.
balls, it's a show.
We showed them.
Yes.
Anyway, we played, and he said do something with bass and F and melodic F sharp, which hey, I have no problem with.
And with
And
me, I'd be like, fuck F sharp, man. You're oh.
and
Can,
and
can
then
we go to E?
and then when we did that, yeah, yeah, and then he was doing this really out there, like almost like intense John Coltrane type of flute playing that it was starting to wig the people out, but I liked it and he liked it and he was happy to do it. And then after that, another guy, this young guy, said, "Hey, I'd like to play some with you. I have a song. Would you like to play?" And I went, "Okay." And he was a very, very nice guy with a great smile and great attitude. And his song was mediocre. It sounded like I wasn't totally into it, but I still appreciated playing with him because he was so nice. You were better than him.
Oh, stop it. By the way, the song Lee played with me is a song I wrote back in the 90s, late 90s called Lost. Uh,
Um,
but
if you
Lee, man, them keys, he was right there. He understood. Lee does not like suspended at all. And I was like, okay, look, you're like, you got to go E, then you go D suspended, suspended four, suspended two.
dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun,
Yeah. We had a
well,
good time. It was a lot of fun.
yeah, but I mean, if you ever play that again, and you did it in spurts so that I could record for the app, and it got it basic, I could then edit it in score music and put it for guitar and maybe add some keyboards and then send it to you if you wanted it. And then I could also put a line for the words and add the words so that even if you didn't sing them, I could still I could still do it. They have stuff now where it's
That is so
yeah,
cool. And I got to tell you, I don't remember the lyrics. It was so long ago when I wrote that, but I do remember that first verse. And I've got the lyrics written down somewhere.
yeah.
But I remember those lyrics. I'm sitting here alone. I have nowhere to go. I'm tired of busting my ass and having nothing to show for it. Can anybody tell me where the glory lies?
I've been busting my ass. I don't know where to go. Can anybody tell me where the story shows? Well, it's different, but I was trying to.
No, you were there, dude. You were right on it.
But yeah. I do know music. I do play weird stuff, but I also can play very normal.
Yes, yes, you can. And I gotta say, if you like Lee's eccentric stuff, his kind of weird outside the box stuff, his stuff that's definitely not rock and metal, check out Saturday Songs.
Yeah.
It's the greatest fucking CD Lee Gerstmann has ever put
Thanks.
out.
You know what? You know the song Jumpy Girl that everyone likes, and I like it too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's try to figure out the melodic consistency to
Nope,
it. It's weird.
nope. If I was Jerry
It
Garcia
actually
tripping on acid, playing a song I had played a million times, I could not figure out what the fuck is going on in that song. But it's so sonically gratifying.
you know what? It's I wrote it for someone to do a dance to, and she did the dance.
Nice, nice.
But it's like it's just that I couldn't. I mean, I could do a different version of it, which means I didn't write down what the chords were. But if I wanted to figure it out, I'd put on the damn video and then figure out the fucking chords and then write it down.
And
But
that's
I
what
mean,
every musician does. That's how everybody that I know learned how to play guitar was by putting on the fucking records and figuring it out on the neck.
it's like, but it ends in an atonal chord. But because I have it on this keyboard that sounds vibraphone-ish, it
Nice.
doesn't sound harsh.
Right. Now that
Yeah.
recording is fucking amazing. Saturday Songs. Get a hold of Lee Gerstmann. At the end of the show, he's going to tell you how to get a hold of him.
Yeah.
Saturday Songs. I'm telling you, get that fucking album. It's an unsung masterpiece. Lee
Yeah.
is definitely not the greatest vocalist, but I'm
Oh,
telling
I
you,
respect you
it
even more for
works.
saying that.
Well, dude, I mean, let's be honest. You're a
I'm
hell of a
not a
piano
vocalist
player.
at
You're
all.
like me. You're not a singer.
You know, like Hoagie Carmichael wrote, start,
Oh,
then he goes,
motherfucker.
Twilight
Did you
time.
just bust out Hoagie Carmichael on me? Let me quote you some lyrics. I got a
Here we
girl that's
go.
mighty sweet, tiny hands and tiny feet.
But
I love Hoagie Carmichael. I grew up on him with my grandfather.
the thing of the twilight time. I'm
Yes.
not saying it's better, but at least it's not as pig oinky,
Well, that was the 40s and 50s. I mean,
you know.
Oh, gee, but
Yeah.
ain't it glad to have a gal so big and fat that when you go to hug her, you don't know where you have to take a piece of
But yeah,
chalk in your
I went.
hand.
I also went to see Dave Liebman. I don't know if you know him. I should
Oh,
send you some of his stuff because he's great. He's now very, very old, and he has to kind of do the whole show sitting down because I think he's kind of, maybe I hear, a little ill. But he worked with Richie Bierrock and, oh, Bruce Hornsby. I don't know what you.
I remember Bruce Hornsby from Bruce Hornsby in the Range. I
He
don't know anything outside of that music.
he did an album with Jack DeJohnette and Christian McBride, who, Christian McBride's solo stuff I don't like, but as a bass player, he's great. And Jack DeJohnette is awesome. And Bruce Hornsby does this cool, great jazz album, which is like, are you kidding me?
No, Bruce Hornsby does like that pop rock of the 80s.
But he also did jazz stuff, and
Man.
he also performed with the Grateful Dead.
Wow.
And when I got a video of them, I thought, oh, Bruce Hornsby's the player on here. What the hell is he going to do? But he played right along with them. I mean, he did the really out there stuff, and he kept looking at Jerry Garcia like, you are my hero. And Jerry was looking at him like, thank you for liking such an old man like me, you know. But it was good. And then me and Mark reviewed an album of Bruce Hornsby, which is him doing this kind of weird techno rap type of stuff, which is like slightly atonal, and not everything was good, but it was weird. And I wanted to make Mark aware, hey, buddy, people don't have to stay in the box, you know? And so anyway,
Exactly. Sorry, I just had a
it's
beer hit the
okay.
floor.
Oh, I've 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 I, I've had tons of stuff on the floor. Anyway,
We got wind coming through my window, man. I'm in the South. I leave my windows open all the time.
that's cool. I leave my windows open all the time. The bee flew from the south. I don't really care what you would think. Hey, get out. I mean, you know, I just saw
Lee
that.
Gerstmann, everybody.
Yeah, but anyway, he talked about Richie Bierach as being one of the best, or great. And so I saw him and Dave Lehman, and then there was a guy named, well, I was in line, and there was this guy who was, talking with people, and I don't know why, but I mean, I said something to him, and so we started talking, and he asked me, where are you from? Because with that accent, because he thought I was from a different country and stuff. So we talked, and then he was, talking about some stuff that was political that I didn't matter, but
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but it was like, just, is he going to just keep, going on and on? But then he talked about how he was working with Dave Lehman and stuff, and
That's
and then
awesome.
and then and then I asked him, well, what's your name? And he said, Ron McClure. I'm like, damn, he was in Quest, which is one of the best groups that Dave Lehman was in. I was like, you're damn. So I gave him a copy of some of my music and stuff.
Awesome.
And then later I saw him again when I was in a you know, getting some food at this one place. And so I said, I'm the guy who sent you the music. And he went, yeah, I heard it. I liked it. It's pretty cool. And so he had given me his card and all that. And I went, is it okay if I send you more stuff? You went, sure. I went, I don't want to bug you. And you're not bothering me. But he's like in his 80s, and he's still doing great jazz.
That's
He was,
awesome.
he was in a group called The Fourth Way, which I had. And one of the guys in that group was born on my birthday, 2 different years. So this was like, you mean I'm starting to meet really good quality musical
It's
people?
because you're in New York, and New York musicians don't have the same attitude as they do in fucking
I'm
California.
starting I'm starting to realize that. You know, um, I'll mention this here because I don't think a lot of people listen to this episode. No, I'm sorry. No.
Ouch, motherfucker, you.
I'm sorry. No. The good people will listen, but
Yes, only the ones that matter.
But anyway, I feel comfortable. I mean, like Cat Clyde. I don't know if you've heard her work. She's from Canada. She's like a bluegrass kind of musician who also does punk music.
Yes.
On the side, But anyway, I had met her before and had selfies and talked with her and stuff, and she was really cool. And then I went to the second show where she was like opening up for Lizzie, and I forgot who Lizzie was, and I realized she's kind of a well-known in that genre.
Right.
But anyway, I had wanted to possibly see Cat Clyde again in order to give her some music, because I talked with someone who had said, hey, I said I wrote a song about, no, I said she was dancing with her background singer and it looked really good and it was cool. And he said, why don't you write a song about it? And I went, okay. So I wrote some stuff, and then I thought, I'll put it on a CD, and if she's there, I'll give it to her. So after her gig, before Lizzie came out, well, I was thinking she might come out. This is Music Hall of Williamsburg. They don't necessarily come out always. They sometimes do, but it's a matter of COVID and blah 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 blah. Ugh. But anyway,
COVID. Yeah, let's not talk about that because I have a completely different experience with COVID.
Completely old, vile, idiotic discourse. COVID. Anyway,
yes.
Yeah. Anyway, what I was saying is, so there was a guy there who was at her place, and I said, is it possible she'll come out? And he went, I think so. But I said, because I have some CDs or some that I told him, and went, are you gonna be around for Lizzie's show? And I thought, well, okay. I wasn't sure if I would. Lizzie, by the way, the first two songs I didn't care for, but then she was great, and the whole show was really good. But anyway, I was there, and then before that was over, he came over and apparently saw me and tapped me on the back, and so I saw me and went, like, come here. So I went, and it was her, Cat Clyde, waiting, to talk to me.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Only me and her. And so I gave her the CDs, and I mentioned, I was going to go to the show, but the tickets seemed sold out. But then I went on your website, and I said, I just found out about the danger. Oh my, that's amazing. This is really sweet. Thank you so much for it. And she was really, really cool.
That's awesome.
And people don't usually do that.
Right.
But and I had another copy to give to the other lady who is the dancer, Julia Crowley, and I said, "Can you give it to her?" And she, I'll see Julia tomorrow, okay? And it's almost like I'm thinking. I almost thought I don't want to bother her, you know. So
isn't it weird how somebody on stage that they haven't made it big, but they're so good that you're like, you think of them as big. Like right now, I have this DGS T-shirt on. That's Dirty Grass Soul.
I thought dumb guy shirt. I'm sorry.
No, this is Dirty Grass Soul. It's a alternative country band with some bluegrass edges and some southern rock edges. They're definitely a southern band, but they're like my favorite thing I have heard in such a long time. I've seen them, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. That festival that I go to, that alternative country bluegrass festival that I go to, man, they perform every fucking time. I just drove 2 hours to Forest City, North Carolina,
I'm
to
still
go
listening.
out into
I'm
this
gonna be
big
up.
field where
Just
they put up a stage, and it was only the second show this venue had ever done. And I watched Dirty Grass Soul for 3 fucking hours, dude. They're just such a good band. In
that's cool.
fact, in fact, I sent Dr. Fuck a live recording of a song they did because they do something called War Pigs slash the Orange Blossom Special. Now, the Orange
That's
Blossom
out there.
Special is a bluegrass tune. War Pigs is obviously Black Sabbath. And they do this whole medley, and they do most of War Pigs. Then they go into the Orange Blossom Special. And then they go into like Rage Against the Machine, and then back to Orange Blossom Special. And then they go into Alice in Chains, and then the
That's
Orange Blossom Special. This
out there.
time, no, no, not this time. Then they go into fucking Led Zeppelin, rock and roll, and that's normally how they finish. No, after rock and roll, they went into the blue Orange Blossom Special again, and then they started AC/DC, fucking Back in Black. you know, they're just such a good band. I just saw them 2 weeks ago. They're fucking amazing, and I'll always support them. But they're an unsigned band, and that's what's important. Based on what you're saying, is you've got to go out there and see these groups and these artists that they don't have record deals, but they fucking deserve it. I'm going back to South Carolina in October. Yeah, there's a bunch of other artists that I like. I really like this guy. It's called the James Radford Band. And James Radford has missed his calling because he is a metal guitar player playing country music. And I told this guy, I was standing at the stage just a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "Holy fuck, dude! You are hands down the best guitar player on this stage all night, all night." Although Tommy from Dirty Grass Soul is really fucking good, but I'm like, you have missed your calling because you play with such a metal vibe while you're playing country music. And this dude looks at me and says, "Dude, I love all that shit. I love Slayer. I love Suicidal Tendencies." I'm like, what the fuck? But I live in the mountains. I live in the moonshine country. Every redneck ass thing you've heard about the South is the area that I live in.
I'm sure that even the stereotypes that people think of might not totally be true because
They're not.
because people have this tendency to, I have to say it in a kind of a metaphysical way. I know that you can deal with it
Yeah,
because
this show's not censored, dude. So say
you are,
whatever you want to say.
what I'm saying is you have the smarts. I have to start by saying everything, culture or attitude or whatever, it's all mentally based. There's no plant that you can pick which is like the opinion plant, where
Yes,
where you pick a flower and it's natural.
it's all
Everyone
regional.
on their choice what they want to believe or not. And a lot of times, let's say for instance, also everyone has their different thing. Like, let's say I ask, why do you believe what you believe? They say, because I've read up on things and
Right.
that's why I believe it. Someone else will say, because my family believes it and I go with my family. Other
Yes.
people might say, because everything else seems wrong,
Right.
so I'm going to go for that. Other people might say, I don't really have a belief system. I'm just going with this right now because it's better than watching Johnny Carson. But you know what I mean? So,
Whoa, 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 whoa. There was nothing ever better than watching Johnny Carson.
okay, so I just, talk to it. But you know what I mean?
I totally do. And
So,
I still watch Johnny Carson, and he's not on the air anymore. I don't even know if he's alive, but I don't watch the late night shows today.
yeah, but I will want to watch some of his stuff. But anyway, so the point is, it's all a matter of opinion. It's
Yes.
not a matter of exact. So I forget where we were, why I mentioned this, but there was a reason.
That's okay. I remember why I asked you to come on this show. Um, I had asked you to review some Avenged Sevenfold once, and you hated it. And then I sent you another album, and you fucking loved it. And you were pissed off that you loved it. So,
Okay, before you go on, and I will talk about that, but I want to say here's the thing. So the point is, here's the point that I wanted to make to round it up. People, yeah, the South. People think what they do because of what they've heard,
yes, it's
not
regional.
necessarily because of what they know.
Yes.
That's the same with everything.
Yes.
Anyway, go on.
And if you're in small towns and don't get the fuck out of your small town and go explore the world, you don't have a world view. Now, it's funny because I live in the South and I have a view that really aligns with the Southern view, but then I get in a lot of trouble down here because I have a lot of views that don't align with the Southern view because I was raised, from second half of sixth grade until 5 years ago in New York. I
It's because
absolutely agree with you. I
it's
absolutely
because
agree with you.
you have your choice
Mm,
on what you want to think, but you have the wide range to make that choice.
yes. Yes.
That's the thing.
That's why I
That's,
say I'm an agnostic, not an atheist.
and yeah, that's the thing. Even the idea of religion, it's all, I'll just say this, religion, no matter what religion it is, was based on, let's say you were in the caveman days before there was hardly any kind of language. And
Right.
people were like, ugh. Or if someone stubbed their toe, they said ugh, even though there was no one else around.
Right.
But but they finally meet someone who's another person. And if they were to have hypothetically a way to talk, one guy might go, I'll meet you there so we can see him. And this
I
guy,
read a scientific report
who's
that said
he?
that, yeah,
What are they?
right.
So they had to make an identifying thing. Okay, that's a tree. Not, and then everyone had to agree that it's called a tree. Otherwise, I could be saying this is a tree, and someone else thinks that a tree is a turkey. So we all have to agree on it. And then it builds up from there.
Yes.
So then, and I knew you wanted to say something, and I'll let you soon, but if I don't finish right now, I might not remember. People like certain doctors or certain kind of scholars thought if there's no rules to anything, then nobody knows what the hell to do, and everyone will be blah, 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 and
Right.
it'll
We have
be
to
a
have a
Beethoven
society.
tune, which I think is going to be really good if they ever do it. But anyway, the thing is, so they came up with this idea of rules and regulations, what to eat, what to think, what to do, not because they were wanting to necessarily control everybody, but because everyone's an individual, they have to do something which is going to be the most compact way for everyone to agree what
Yes.
is best.
Yes.
So, but if they say Joe or Al thought of this, they're not going to care. But if they say God thought of it, people are like, oh, we don't want to go against God. So they come up with the name God in order to make people think that this is the legitimate thing. And so that's why a lot of people think of God. It's like if I'll say one more thing and then I'm done. And then let's say you were growing up and your parents said, there's someone named Phantom Billy, and Phantom Billy lives in the sky. And when you are going to sleep, if you have a stomach ache, that means Phantom Billy is not looking after you. And that means you did something wrong. But if you go to sleep and you are feeling good, that means you did good and Phantom Billy is good. So they grow up hearing about Phantom Billy, which is a creation of their parents.
Yes.
But if the kid has a stomach ache because he ate some food that's wrong or didn't agree with him, he's going to think he did something morally wrong when he didn't. He just had a physical situation, but he's trained to think otherwise. That's the point.
No, I completely agree. I work at an assisted living facility. It's not a long-term care home, it's an assisted living facility.
Yeah.
And I have watched a Baptist woman who lives on the assisted living facility berate a Jehovah's Witness because she didn't like that guy's beliefs. And all that guy was doing was coming to my side because I work on a Alzheimer's dementia side. All they were doing was coming to give her the word. That's all they were doing. But because that religion didn't line up with what they were taught, this woman was like completely berating him and trying to talk shit about all of them. And dude, it's so infuriating. It's like I grew up in the Seventh day Adventist church. I am a baptized Seventh day Adventist, which is weird when you hear that I'm an agnostic. But I could pull out my Bible. I could pull out my Book of Mormon. I could pull out my Satanic Bible. I don't have the works of Socrates and Plato anymore. But I did a lot of soul searching. I did a lot of soul searching, and I found that it's all bullshit. I don't care if you believe in a higher power. I don't know. That's why I say I'm an agnostic. I don't
Yeah.
not believe. I'm not Wadzilla. Okay, I'm not like there is no fucking God. No, no. I would like to believe there's something after. I really would. Death terrifies me.
I
But
I actually talked with him about some of the stuff that I mentioned to you, and he's sorry, Wadzilla, but
he's
he's
more of an agnostic, ain't he?
he's actually willing to listen
Yes.
if you got an intelligent thing to say.
Well,
So
that's
sorry,
great
Wadzilla.
because think of all the podcasts where he's talked so much shit about Christians. I don't have a problem with Christians at all unless you fuck with me. You know what I mean? If you're judging me, and I know the Bible, judge not lest you be judged.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, apparently Christ said that, and we all have. There's plenty of historical evidence to say that Jesus Christ lived.
Here is the thing. I can say I'm a Christian, but not in a religious sense. It's like, let's say you can say you're a Republican, but that does not mean that Republicanism is your God. It just means that theoretically, when it comes to your political viewpoints, you can think
Yes.
of it. So just like Marx, you can agree with Marx said without being a communist just because you read it and you agree with it. So I can be a Christian in the same sense that I
Whoa,
can be
whoa,
maybe
hold
a.
on, Lee. Hold on. Did you just compare republicanism to communism?
I did not. What I'm saying is they are all. No. What I'm saying is someone can believe in what Marx said without being
Okay.
a
Okay.
communist.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's what I'm saying. But no. If I were to believe in communism, no. Communism is more like community, but not when it's done by the Russians. I'm sorry. Anyway,
Or anybody in history. Lee, let's get off the political talk, because I know you and I don't agree politically.
all I wanted to say was just one more thing, if I can, because this is the point.
I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna walk away so I can grab another beer, but
I'm going to do some for a quick moment too. And so you get a beer, and then so don't worry about it. And I'm going to get a drink or some, and then we
I
can keep it rolling.
love this guy, people. You don't understand. I love this guy.
Yeah. All I'm trying. All right.
I'm gonna go grab a beer.
Okay, and then I'll do some. All right. All right, I'm back.
Okay, we are back. I don't even have to edit this. No, we're not back. I gotta go grab the beer that I fucking walked away with.
All right. Okay. Okay. No.
Lee, I have missed you so much.
I just wanted to say one more thing real quick.
Okay, do it.
It's like the only thing I was saying is like, okay, here's the thing. I can believe in Jesus just the same as I can believe in Nietzsche, or I can believe in any other philosopher without thinking that they're a god. That's the thing. It's like, okay. All right. What I'm trying to say is, so you can believe that what someone says is true. Like, if you were to tell me something, I'd say, I believe you. That doesn't mean you're my God. It just means
you agree with that.
That's the thing that I wanted to say. And I'm done with that. So I apologize if I rambled on.
Oh no, you are fine, my brother.
I'm going to take a few more drinks. You can talk, but I'm going to be off camera just for a minute.
Okay, but you can hear me, right?
Yeah. I'm right here, but just for a moment.
Okay, the point is, I invited Lee on today because he had reviewed some Avenged Sevenfold for me, and one review was not positive. The other review was amazingly positive, and he was fucking pissed off that he liked it so much. But I
can tell you some about that after you're done talking.
Okay. But I sent him something today. I sent him something today. It is the closing track from the latest Avenged Sevenfold record. It's the title track. It was called "Life Is But a Dream," and it's funny because I think life is but a dream, sweetheart. And I said, when I tagged him in this post, I said, Lee, I know you hate this band. I get it. Listen to this and let me know what you think. Now, Lee, explain the song that you listened to and your reaction.
I heard it. I thought it was great. I thought that it was a classical song, but it did not remind me of any particular composer. It was like an original, but it might have emulated people who the guitarist listened to, but I thought this guy who's a guitarist is better than me at piano, and he's a damn good composer. And I really enjoyed it. And I have to say, I thank you so much for sending it to me.
When I heard that closing track, because it is the last song on the album, I was like, oh my God, this is right in Lee Gerstmann's fucking wheelhouse. I have got to tag him in this.
It made me think I wanted to write something like him.
I know, doesn't that just like get in your craw that it's like Avenged Sevenfold?
Listen to me. I am a very egoistic guy who, listen, when people in my in my neighborhood, you know how most people, they said, I got beat up when I said that I like Kiss.
Yes.
We were the
Yes.
different thing. We were like, people said to us, Kiss sucks. And went, no, your group sucks. So we went right back at them.
Right.
We did not get beat up. We were the ones who teased them even more.
Yes.
So I kind of have that same teasing, angry attitude in now. And so that's why I have that attitude, and it's meant in a sense of humor. But the truth is, yeah.
Well, you got to say
You
that
wish
because
that
we live in
other people, I
2022, not
do wish other
73.
people did agree exactly with me, because wouldn't it be fun at least for one day to see what it would be like if everyone agreed with you? I mean, even if it was only one day. I mean, otherwise it's like, I want to have a day where nobody agrees with me. That would be tar and feather time. So I take it to extreme. But the point is, I did not like one particular Avenged Sevenfold album.
Yes, I know.
One album I did like.
Yes, the live at the Grammy Museum you did like. Yeah.
And then but of course,
Lee,
we put things on dramatic pose.
I have to ask
But
you
I
a
mean,
question.
I like that thing.
I listened to this record in its entirety today.
Oh.
Okay. The final track, the title track, is the last song on the album. I posted and tagged you in because I knew you're a piano player. I mean, I know you say keyboard, but no, you're a pianist.
Yes, yeah, that's actually true.
And there's no drums, there's no bass, there's no guitar. It's just the guitar player, Sinister Gates, that composed this piece. And it's fucking brilliant. But the album as a whole, are you a Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band fan?
That's the one album that I don't like from them. But I'm not going to say, since that song was so good, it was better than anything from that album. So I will listen to it.
I am a fan of everything Avenged Sevenfold has put out. Everything, including the last album, The Stage, which Avenged fans like get pissed off about. My old bass player was like, "What the fuck is this?" You know, we played in two bands together, and he's a big Avenged fan. He's seen them like 3, 4, 5 times, and he's like, "What the fuck is this? This sucks so bad." And I'm like, "Man, The Stage is such a good fucking record." This album, I knew they recorded it in Prague, in the Czech Republic. I knew that they had an orchestra with them. And the first track, it starts off very classical guitar, which I respect. I love it. And it got heavy. It got very Avenged like. But I'm here to tell you, this album, to me, man, it was so Sergeant Pepper's. It was fucking bloated. It was experimental. It was fucking artsy fartsy. It's their
Is
ninth
this one
album,
of their best albums?
huh?
Is it one of their best albums?
This one that they just dropped,
I'm just
no,
asking.
it's definitely their worst record. And I'm
I
such a
probably like
huge
it the
fan of this
best.
fucking band.
I will probably like it the best.
I will send you the link to it because it's
I,
fucking horrible.
I've got streaming services. I can look it up.
Yeah, it's called. Hold on, let me pull it up because I've
If
had a few
it's
beers.
if
It's
on
it's the same as
streaming,
the song I sent you. "Life Is But a Dream"
yeah,
is the name of the album, dude.
that's cool.
I it's got moments where I'm like, oh, it's a very Sevenfold, and then I'm like, what the fuck?
It's
What?
a banquet turkey dinner for $1. Damn it!
Oh, for real. It's like, did you discover Her Satanic Majesty's Request, which is by far the worst Rolling Stones album?
Would you
Did you
believe
discover Sgt. Pepper's, which everybody says is like one of the greatest Beatles album of all time? And I'm like, this is
you
such
know
trite.
the song? Why don't we sing the song all together? You know that song
I do not.
from that album by the Rolling Stones that you just mentioned.
Oh yeah, because the only song I like on that is "She's a Rainbow," man. I've heard it twice.
Listen. You know it?
Yes, I do when you play it.
Isn't it better?
Well, yeah, because I don't have to hear that horrible Rolling Stones record.
In fact, it's so brilliant, that song, because it goes from D flat to A, and it transitions because it goes from E chord to E flat chord, which is great. And Gomper is a good song, but they did it horrible. You know what? Glenn Johns said he was the guy who did the engineering on it. He went, they came in, they had these drums, and they proceeded to play for a whole hour. And he said it was the most boring stuff that I ever heard. But he said they were totally into it. Even though I didn't like it, he said they seemed to know exactly what they were doing.
See, and this is what we're saying, people. Drugs are bad.
Yeah. In fact, Mick Jagger said the reason why we did that album was because we needed to give Andrew Luke Oldham, our manager, one last album, and we were working on another album, and we didn't want to give him anything good, so we did that album to give it to him.
I love "She's Like a Rainbow." The rest of that record, man, I'm like, and even "She's Like a Rainbow" is so hippie trippy fucking shit that it's not my thing, but
I like the album cover.
Yes. Total ripoff of the Beatles.
I think that it's one of those albums where if you get it for the album cover, you might as well put it on your wall,
turntable, yeah.
And don't listen to the album because it's not good.
It's a bad record. But I feel the same way about Sgt. Pepper's. Everybody says that Sgt. Pepper's is like the swan song. And it does have good songs. Like the title track is amazing.
Saying it thinking that it wasn't good?
Which one?
Sgt. Pepper's.
No, I hate that album.
I don't feel bad by telling you that, Ned. I thought that you liked it.
No, I don't like it. I like that song. I love Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
I like the reprise of it. And I think Good Morning is okay, and Lovely Rita is all right. But those are the only ones that I like.
Yeah, it's not a good record.
Do you like Octopus's Garden?
Um, Lee,
I
please
was
do not hang up on me.
all right.
Octopus
Let's
Garden
forget it.
is my all-time favorite Beatles song.
I love it. It's one of my
Yes!
all-time favorites too.
Yes, I don't know what the fuck Ringo was talking about, but I'd like to be under the sea and I don't know what he's talking about, but I
I
love that
listened
song.
to it. He's saying, um,
Yeah, you don't know, Lee.
no, if
Even as much weird shit as you
if
listen
he
to.
could be a octopus, he was thinking in the terms of what an octopus would like.
Well, that's way more drugs than I've ever done in my life.
Well, yeah.
But no, that is my all-time favorite Beatles song.
You know what? I've gone to think that your opinions are totally wrong to being totally correct. You are now my favorite person. You know?
I can't help it. It's like I hate Yellow Submarine. I hate no, I don't
I
hate
don't
but,
hate that.
no, I hate Yellow Submarine. It's stupid.
I don't hate that.
It's stupid.
I did a version of it that's worse than the Beatles.
I
I was
doubt
6
that.
years old.
No, at 6 years old, I would take the Lee Gerstmann 6 years old version of
I
that
did that
song.
with my sister. Well, every like in the
Yellow
town.
Submarine, Yellow Submarine, yeah. No, horrible. Horrible.
Okay, what you did was worse than what I did. So thank you for that. You're the only one who did it worse.
Big love because you like Octopus's Garden. It's my all-time favorite song by the Beatles. And then the George Harrison, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. And then
Uh,
I love it. I can't help it. And then Hey Jude. But you know why I like Hey Jude
I
so
like
much?
Revolution. I like Hello Goodbye, and I like I Am the Walrus.
I hate the fucking walrus. What's the fucking walrus?
I love that song.
What is it?
I don't know, but it's like
See,
sitting on a
look, the Beatles.
cornflake,
At
waiting for
least
a man to
everything I
come.
listen to, I can understand what they're talking about. What the fuck is the
Listen,
walrus? Goo goo kachoo. What?
it was like James Joyce and then the Finnegan's Wake. But listen, I thought of something. I'm going to play it for you.
Do it.
All right. You're going to be tripping out on this. Oh, I usually start with the other song. I'll start it with the I'm the Walrus first.
Goo goo kachoo.
Wait a minute.
Motherfucker just switched to fucking Beethoven on me.
That's what I thought of. I thought that back in the day. I'm the only guy who thought of it.
That is fucking great, dude. You can make a mint doing that.
I used to play that live, and then I had a different part that I wrote in the middle of it. You know what I mean?
Awesome fucking Beethoven with fucking
That's
walrus.
what I'm saying.
I didn't see that coming, dude. That was fucking so cool.
I know score music, and I used to have this stuff on sheet music. Naughty boy.
We have been hanging out with Lee Gerstmann. This is the Plug Podcast. This is an exclusive. We're talking fucking Beatles. We're talking Avenged Sevenfold. When have you ever heard those two things fucking intermix? We've been talking to Stones.
After listening to that really shitty Extreme album, I'm sure Avenged Sevenfold's not going to be as bad.
Oh, Lee, you will have to listen to this record and then message me because me as an Avenged Sevenfold fan, I'm I'm conflicted. Now I've only heard the record one time, but it is not what I wanted to hear. I know that they went to the Czech Republic. They went to Prague to record the album, and I know that they had the Czech or the Prague Orchestra play some things with them. It's not the Avenged I wanted to hear. I cannot wait to hear what you think of this album because are there elements of Avenged Sevenfold? Yes. The opening track, we have this classical guitar thing going on because Sinister Gates is fucking amazing. That's the guy that played the piano through that whole track that I sent you. But I'm here to tell you it's not what I wanted to hear.
But is it the very worst album you've ever heard?
Is it the worst album I ever heard? No.
But maybe it's one of the worst as far as your expectation of a group that you like.
Expectations for this band, yes. It's like when I heard These Days by Bon Jovi. It had a couple good tracks, but I expected Bon Jovi. You know what I mean? It's like when I heard Native Tongue by Poison, and I know you don't like these bands, but I expect a certain sound.
I have to say, I didn't mind Native Tongue, and I didn't mind These Days. Fuck.
It's not a bad album, but it's not the Bon Jovi of the first 3 or 4 records. You know what I mean? Well, no, well, you say they suck, but I think they're great.
Fuck, I'm gonna love this Avenged Sevenfold album, man. I want to say that.
I know you didn't want to say it, and by the way, I will link the YouTube review.
Oh, yeah, no need to.
Of fucking Lee Gerstmann reviewing live at the Grammy Museum.
I was a bit drunk when I did it.
No, you weren't, motherfucker. You liked it. It was all acoustic. They did some fucking Rolling Stones.
But I was still not totally sober.
Lee, it's okay if you liked it. There's shit I like.
That doesn't mean anything.
Dude, I'm here to tell you.
If I like it, I like it, whether I'm drunk or sober.
I love Britney Spears. I can't help it.
Her.
No, I love her music. I can't help but that sultry fucking sexy voice.
To her first album.
Oh yeah, that first album. Oh.
Why are people saying it's bad? This isn't bad.
It's good pop music.
I don't want her to run over my foot on her car, but I mean, otherwise, I'd not mind meeting her.
Oh, I would let her run over my foot with her car.
All right.
Because I'll be like, look, we can make this go away, or we can go to court.
Or I would say, we can make this happen. You know?
Because I'm a pervert and she's my age.
She's not
Lee
my
Gerstmann
age,
has been hanging out with us here on the Plug Podcast. YouTube exclusive. Thank you so much for hanging out, Lee. I can't wait to hear your review on this record. Please, I'm asking you as a personal favor.
I will listen to it tonight.
No. I'm asking you as a personal favor. I want to see a YouTube review of this new album.
I will do it for you.
Well, I appreciate that. You did it for
you, baby.
You did it for live at the Grammy Museum.
Your ass.
Because I am not a fan of this record. I only heard it once.
Your ass. I don't know. I'm doing this song like.
Yeah, baby, I'll let you slap my ass.
Ass slapped, baby. Once her ass slapped. I'm kidding.
I'll let you slap my ass. Now you were to Rocket Pod this year. Are you going to come to Rocket Pod next year?
If I don't screw up my money.
Okay, that's
maybe.
Fair. That's fair.
If certain people don't come, then I will come. Sorry. Ooh, no. I'll
Oh
never.
my God. We're going to have a conversation after we get off the fucking mic because I'm like, wait, what?
No. I'm being funny. Actually, it's all good. I'll come. I was just, I was making a little dig, not at you.
I know you weren't making a dig at me. We've been hanging out with,
I do dig you.
I dig you. And we had all these opportunities to meet and it never worked out. Then we hung out at Rocket Pod. And then
Yeah.
this cocksucker, after I'm too fucking drunk and go to bed, puts a fucking beer fucking case on his head and sings songs about me, about what a bitch I am. And I still
Um,
love this guy because it was fucking
I
hilarious.
was asked to do it. I wouldn't have done it on my own.
Lee, understand this, sir. I have a very thick skin and I thought it was fucking hilarious.
And that's why I did it. I have one more really quick story since you mentioned beer case. Some friends who lived in our neighborhood, they gave my dad and mom a few or a couple of cases of beer. And so they were talking and they were, doing a bunch of their mumbly talking about,
He
I
said,
don't know what they were talking about. Yeah, they weren't as drunk as they wanted to be, but they were kind of drunk. And so I said, "Hey, Dad, can I have a case of beer?" And he was, telling me, "Yeah." I'm like, okay. So I went and I took the whole case of beer in my room. And I locked the door because, of course, when you have beer, you don't want anyone to take it from you. And then I hear pound, 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 pound on my door. I go, open up, because I'm already drinking something. Yes? Where's the beer? I said, you said I could have the case of beer. He went, I said you could have some of it. I went, oh, sorry. Ha 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 ha. He went, ha 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 ha. So I gave him some back, but no. Um, it was cool. I had some of the beer, but I mean, we were kind of like that, we could joke with each other and stuff. It was funny.
that's great.
Right.
That's great. That happens when you're a kid, man. I mean,
Yeah, I was he told me if you're going to have alcohol like a bottle, the longshoreman way to do it is to put it in front of your pants. That way you look like you've got a big thing. And then that way they're not gonna mess with you, the cops. So I would be underage and my dad would ask the guy at the liquor store, do you have so and so? And then I would give him the money, but he would do the purchase, and then the guy did it, and then I would go home and stuff it in my crotch, and then walk home, and I never got arrested.
well, that's all that matters, man. Because
Yeah,
now, Lee, before we get out of here, have you ever been arrested?
no,
Damn, you're
I
better than
had
me,
one
bro.
time when I was using someone's disabled card for the subway. Well, it was BART, Bay Area Rapid Transit in California.
Yeah,
The police gave me a ticket, but he told me how to um, avoid doing the ticket.
right. You gotta beat it. It's all
And,
about
and, then,
revenue,
and then
brother.
so I was able to do what I needed to do, and then I didn't have to pay it. So it's like, but he was doing his job, but he was also honest as far as let me know how to beat it. Which, damn, that's cool. You know.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. I
But
have been arrested because I have fucked up in my life, but I'm not a felon. I'm a misdemeanorin. I can
yeah,
still own guns. I still have my rights as an American citizen.
yeah.
So that's cool. Lee,
You're
Thank you
not
so
tostada. You're
much.
not Spanish tostada, senor. I'm kidding. All right, never mind.
No, my daughter's Puerto Rican. That's not a good joke. My niece was
Okay,
like half
taco
Mexican. Damn.
and omelet. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. It's all right.
We are out of here. I've been hanging out with Lee Gerstmann from the Lee Gerstmann Show, formerly of the Freeform Rock Podcast, formerly the greatest guest host ever, maybe next to Bill Wang on the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
Okay.
Lee Gerstmann, a brother from another mother. I finally got to meet him in 2023. He came down to Rock and Pod. I got to hang out with him.
It
He
was
made
really
a little
cool.
fun of me after I fucking passed out drunk. I love this guy. Thank you so much, Lee, for being here. If there's anything you want to say to these people,
I would say if you ever want to message me, just don't spam me with go do paper YouTube. Like I'll give you like 200 YouTube subscribers. I don't want spam, but anybody else, whoever you are, if you just want to say hi, I'm there.
man, Lee's such a good guy. Moved from California to New York. He hasn't realized he should move his ass to the South. But
It depends upon who's there.
yeah, Lee would have to move to a city. He's not built for country life.
I wouldn't mind if the lady was so awesome that all I had to do during the day was pick my teeth for 8 hours and then have love with her for the other 8 hours. My teeth and going for love and pick my teeth and going for love, and it's the only thing that I have to do. But hey, it's better than nothing. Pick my teeth and do the, you know.
That'll be the next great Lee Gerstmann hit. Also, check out Lee Gerstmann's Bugs on Cheese, and then check out Dr. Fuck covering Bugs on Cheese.
Which is better than mine.
Probably his greatest hit by both of those artists. Check out Saturday Songs. I'm here to tell you, it is a rudimentary recording, but I'm telling you, it is the greatest thing you'll ever hear, especially if you like music outside of your box.
Yeah.
Is that the best way to say it, man? Outside of your box.
I was going to say, if people say, does it cost $10 or does it cost $10? I would say, oh, shut up. No, I'm kidding. No. It was a good thing.
He'll say, bitch, help me out with the shipping. Lee's a good guy. I have 5 of his CDs, but Saturday Songs is.
I like to give people my music, and
I know you do. Look, let me tell you this real quick, because I don't think I told it to you. We were a Rockin' Pod, and you were handing out your sheet music, and you were handing out your sheet music to fucking everybody. And I was at the bar.
You probably told me about the guy. Yeah, you told me about. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, I want to tell people because motherfucker, I had your back. And this guy said, yeah, this dude fucking handed me the sheet music, and he was very derogatory. And I don't expect that in a city, even in the South, like a town like Nashville, they're very open and welcoming. So this guy pissed me the fuck off because I heard it. I'm sitting in the bar next to him. And I said, oh, yeah, you got Lee's music, huh? That fucking guy's a genius. And yes, he's eccentric. And yes, he's awkward because, Lee, let's be honest. In social situations, you're a very awkward man. Is that a fair thing to say? Unless you know you're a loved man.
That's extra kind.
Yeah, you're a very awkward man, but he's fucking such a musical genius. And this guy was like trying to talk shit on the sheet music he gave him. And none of them motherfuckers, there was 3 there. After I said, yes, you should listen to that. And while this asshole's saying, I want to see you play that, I was saying, yes, I want to see you play that. Because this guy is much more, brilliant. He's much more intelligent than you think. You thought this was a guy that come off the street, and this is a guy that paid and came to Rockin' Pod and passed his music around. And I got to meet face to face in person. I did not know you were taller than me. That was weird.
Yeah, that is weird because you are taller than me.
No, I'm not taller than you. You're like 6'3". I'm 6'2". You are taller than me. We have the
No,
pictures
I'm
to prove it.
6'1", you 6'5".
No. It's on Facebook. We can see it. Lee is taller than me.
No, you're taller than me. No, never mind. Okay, well, whatever you want to say.
Lee's a great guy. Lee, how do we find you on the social media?
I'm now on Facebook. My account got hacked by someone, so my old account you can't go back on. And then I tried to get Facebook to get me back on, and they said, "You don't look like the guy on your ID." And I'm like, "Well, I'm the guy on my ID, so I don't know what the hell that am." But
You're like, dude, I'm like 20 years older. Facebook's been around for a minute. Fuck Cuck. I mean, fuck Zuck.
Yeah. You can find me on, you can email me at gerstmannlee@yahoo.com, GERSTMANNLEE@yahoo.com. That's a good way. Or I have my Instagram account. Look under Lee Gerstmann. There is a guy named Lee Gerstmann with only one N who's like a young basketball guy who is not me. He, if you see him, he's not me.
Yeah, that's not the one.
But
because
the two ends.
if they're playing basketball today, they're pussies anyway.
But yeah, you can find me on YouTube. Look under Lee Gerstmann and look under, well, just look under Lee Gerstmann, and then if you see songs, you'll find me.
I will
That's the basic way.
I will post all your links in the description in this video. Now, look, if you want to see more Plug Podcast exclusives, you've got to like, you've got to subscribe, you got to hit the notification bell, because this is new to us here at the Plug Podcast. I'm sorry, Metal Mike's not here. He's dealing with some familial issues. By the way, Metal Mark, I love you, and we're rooting for you, buddy. Metal Mark took a fall down the stairs a couple days ago. He's been in the ICU. Everything looks like it's being okay, but we just want to make sure that he makes a full and complete recovery. And I know Metal Mike will fight anybody that talks any shit about Metal Mark. I actually sent a Facebook video out specifically for Metal Mark today. So thoughts and prayers, positive vibes, whatever it is you send to him. Mark Tyler, Metal Mike's twin brother. We wish for a speedy recovery. Lee, we're going to get out of here.
Okay.
Anything final you want to say?
I'm going to listen to some music.
Are you going to listen to that new Avenged Sevenfold record?
That's going to be one of the albums that I'm listening to.
Oh, dude.
For you.
I'll be so pissed if you like this record.
I will not tell you the truth then.
No, you tell me the truth. I only expect
I am good at not telling the truth and people don't know it.
No, I want you to tell me the truth.
Okay.
Don't be one of them lying bitches. I don't want to see that. You tell me the truth.
I will lie on my back, but I will
5 more times
as I do it. Oh, there's a group called Lion, and they have an album called Running All Night with the Lion. If I can find it, it's the most obscure album that I know about. But if you want to review it, hey.
If you find it, send it to me, and I will come on your show anytime, my brother. Anytime.
I will,
as long as I'm not working.
Because it's called Lion. And I don't want to have to be a lion guy.
Okay, so lion like Lyin?
No, it's Lion with a guy.
I want to be the lion. I'm not a sheep.
All right.
Lee Gerstmann hanging out with us in the Plug Podcast, doing a YouTube exclusive. Thank you so much, brother. I love you. You be good.
Take care.